So the countdown is almost there, just less than a minute. And we will have crossed the threshold where the government did not respond, or might say the USA Incorporated did not respond.
I would say it's more like they're in trouble.
They're in trouble. Yeah. Well, they were already in trouble when we first started. That's when they became in trouble, when we first started this.
And we have officially hit 0.00000. So hopefully Tank will be joining us in a moment. And
yeah, he's he was there, and then now he's gone.
He is so excited. He is partying in the New York streets, dancing, going.
Yep.
I'm coming. There he is. He's through partying in the street. He has been partying.
Yes. Well, we've crossed the threshold, Tank.
We are done, Tank. We are done officially.
Can you hear us, Tank? Hello.
Can you hear us? Tank.
You can't hear us.
Tank.
All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Front Lines. Dan, can you take over from there?
Yeah, we've already started. Thank you very much. We wanted to not miss the countdown.
There's no volume there, right?
You can't hear us, yes. Hello, Tank. We hear you. We hear you.
Do you hear us, Tank?
Welcome to the front lines. In the battle against the deep state, the cabal, the Illuminonkeys, and all those that wish to interfere with Tank's audio. Oh, now we don't hear you now. You hear us.
We don't hear you.
We heard you before. Now your mouth is moving. You're just joking with us.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, now yes. Now
we can hear you. Yes, now you're with us. Yay!
A blasted cabal. They're trying to take my volume here.
Yeah. Yeah, they use all their resources and what they have left. What they have left, their pocket change.
They should enjoy what they have left for the next few weeks, probably, or because they're not going to have much left by the time I get done with them.
Yeah.
Well,
so what is the steps in removing from them what they have left?
Oh, we don't have that long, do we? There are a lot of steps. I mean, it's not really as difficult as people think it is. I mean, and what we were saying when we had a state directors meeting tonight, and what we're going to be pushing with our body is the 28 USC 3002 15A, which tells you the United States is a federal corporation. It is not a government, and what is so amazing about that is even including the judicial procedural section. And so it is game time for us today. We are excited. I get to lay down in my bed tonight and giggle, and knowing that what I get to present tomorrow with everything and what we have in store for them. And so it's been 40 days that we knew that they were cowards, and as normal, they hide behind the corporation, they hide behind the little curtain, and they use genocide with needles and all these things. They traffic their children, but none of them have the audacity to come to the front line and say, yes, this is who we are, this is what we're doing. And so since they're not willing to be accountable for what they believe they're doing is correct, then we the people by default get to hold them accountable. And in that one way, there's a couple of plans that we're taking them down. But that's just one way. That's one of the easiest ways through the Library of Congress and everything. But if they don't have the balls to come up here and say what they've done to the American people, and we get to hold them accountable. So it's a great day for the people that with Lawful America, we always say Lawful America is you. And today is the day that you need to realize that it's just a big piece of being able to win.
So when you say when you say hold them accountable, it means financially that they can their wealth can be removed legally.
It believes in every way, and there are multiple ways that we're doing this, and we're doing it through we're gathering evidence going through courts, and we talk about that process, removing charters, and we are going to go back to the true treaties, the organic constitution, what is all in place, the Articles of Confederation. All of those things are still very active. I have the documents to prove that. So all these things that they try to tell you that are not active, that you're only using certain constitutions, are not correct. And so the treaties that we've had with the tribes, the Cherokee, all these tribes, we've been very fortunate with Lawful America to bring many of the tribes to the table. I have an amazing chief of the Cherokee tribes that sits at our round table, and Tank is stuck with one even out of New York, and we feel very confident that we get to sit at the top, as I've been saying. But today we absolutely get to sit at the top for the people and just to do the enemy at this point. And doing that will be absolutely hitting them with treason, as they have committed in multiple ways. And we will work on a process to train that to attorney generals. And I'll go more into detail of that in just a minute. But, to answer your question, is absolutely, and we are going to put a lien. We're going to go after their bonds, their insurance, hold them accountable. And then we're going to also put a lien on their property as well as their spouse's assets. If I was a Chinese wife. And I'm born to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Sorry, I think you're loud words.
Tank, your audio is low.
I will jump off, and I will come back on. And we'll see that up. My audio should not be there. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So, Dan,
yes.
we'll be able to hold them accountable with, so we have actually people in court this week, and I'll discuss that in more detail in just a minute with Tank when he comes back on. And then we take the evidence and we're submitting it through the Library of Congress, other avenues, the Attorney General, and holding the governor who is responsible. You have to realize that your state is set up as like its own country, and so when you realize where everybody is, who are the players, and you can figure out how to beat them at their own game. And I've been saying for a while that the tables have turned, and tonight at midnight it was a checkmate minute, and you're not even going to get close to my king. So I think we're really good on the board right now. What do you think, Sam?
How's my volume? Okay.
You're great now.
Well, I think you're about half volume. Maybe you need to move your microphone closer.
I'm like right here on the mic.
Oh wow.
So there should be no problem with my mic.
No, it's better.
But,
whatever happened, it just got louder.
Good.
It just became louder.
Yeah.
All right, now we're good. Okay,
You're good.
great. All right, so despite some technical difficulties, I am very excited to announce that the government has allowed us to successfully give them notice, and in so doing, we have declared the law from 1986 as a no law. This is officially in the Gazette in Washington, D.C. We have given them 40 days to respond appropriately. They did not, which means we win by default. Their negligence, as is often the case, actually just, we're really just announcing what already was a law. And because of that, that means that this is now a very powerful tool that everyone can use, that's already entered in the Library of Congress, that you can pull up the newspaper, pull up the law directly from the Library of Congress, and you can take it into court and say, hey, listen, this is the law. My kid was damaged by vaccines. And I am not going to sue the government for participating in this bullshit program where you're going to try to buy me off for 250 grand for the priceless asset, which is my child, my legacy. So instead, I'm going to sue Merck. I'm going to sue Johnson & Johnson. I'm going to sue everybody. I'm going to sue the FDA, the CDC, and you have a lawful right to do it. And here's the best part. Because they ran this bullshit program for 33 years. For 33 years, they ran this program. In that, the other side, the CDC, the FDA, Human Health Services, apparently, when they're mandated to do something by Congress, they're just like, oh, did you mean that? We really were supposed to actually make safer and more effective vaccines? Yes, you jack off losers, you were supposed to do that. So now, because you didn't, here's the amazing thing that you did for us. You proved the vaccines 100% do cause autism. And I know there's some crazy nurse out there on TikTok or something that's going to say, that's not true. Oh, really? $4 billion has been paid out by the U.S. government for damages done by vaccines. In those payments, you know what they paid for? Michelle, you know what they paid for? Freaking autism they paid for. Why would the government not pay? Why would they pay for something that doesn't happen? They're telling us that vaccines don't cause autism. The hell they don't. The government paid out on it. What about death?
I think the government also said that HPV doesn't cause cancer. I think the government has. I really just think they're pretty much liars. I mean, you know,
What?
I think that's pretty much what's going on. Tank, like all statutes, codes, rules, regulations are for the government authorities only. Only for the government authorities. Do you get that? Not human creators in accordance with God's law. All codes, rules, and regulations are unconstitutional and lacking due progress. And that's Rodriguez's basis raised on the U.S. Department of Labor 769 SEC 1344. And I think that what we're going to be seeing is due process of the law is a long-standing right secured by the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution for the United States of America.
Wait, due process of law is, we need due process of law? So what does that mean in reference to this?
Well, there's a couple of things that go here. And so I'm going to break it down in ways that the jury and with the U.S. Incorporated. So these bad actors that go into court because they're acting, it's like a theater. And so those people that go in there are the judges and the magistrates, the actors, however you want to call them. I mean, at this point, I would just probably call him Mr. Jones instead of Judge Jones. But when they go in there, they were actually told, Tank, in 2009, and that they were breaking, they were given a civil warning, and they were told to get in compliance with the Constitution. Some did, and many have not. So if anyone says, you know, you need to give them warning and everything, they actually got their warning in 2009, but they already knew that their oath, a judge, an attorney, any of them, they do any of this, their oath is to the Crown and the bar, foreign agents. They're a foreign agent on our property, and we have paperwork with the Congress who says that attorneys in the bar are actually domestic terrorists on our land. But it says that due process of the law is a long-standing right secured by the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution to the United States of America. And it's right which is violated with every prosecution of any code, rule, or regulation against the American people. And so we're at the point where right now the Congress, we're letting them know that Congress cannot revoke the sovereignty power of the people to override their will as us declare. And that's in Perry versus United States, if anybody wants to question me on that. So what we're saying is that the people are the supreme. We are the creator, not the state, not the government, not this U.S. Inc. corporation. And that's not how this works. And so we are extremely confident that I'm going to get to have a lot of houses for a lot of veterans who have needed some homes because my government didn't take
that's a great point, Michelle. Not only did we just beat the United States Incorporated after we declared notice in the Gazette in Washington, D.C., letting them know that this law of 1986 is a no law. We have now set a precedent that everyone else can follow, right? And not only that.
Well, right. We're set. on every way, though, we're letting them know that they don't even belong here. Um, they, they are not. They never had permission to be here. The 41st Senate that was put in place and was unlawfully put in place that made it to the U.S.E. And unfortunately for them, I have all that documentation, and so this is. I think it's a good day.
Dan, what do you think, Dan? What do you thought?
Well, I'm thinking, let's say that I'm just like the average Dan, right? And I'm coming to this and I'm hearing this program. I say, okay, well, how do I, as the average Dan, now take this new information you're providing me and say, hey, now I need to sue. How do I do it? Do I get an attorney who is a registered to the bar to go after them to get remuneration for everything that happened to me because of the vaccines? What do I do?
That is a great question. Michelle, what do you think? Get the average Dan.
You can
advice.
said average Dan, which I wouldn't call you average Dan. I would say that you are important and that these rights have been given to you bestowed upon your creator. And the way that it looks when you're a human is that you're a king. So cabal thinking is that you're average. Now, if you come into power, you know your power, that you are the executor of your trust, you are the king, and that your energy and everything belongs to you. So what I would do is we're going to teach the people to gather their evidence the correct way. And so you can go in there, you can document in a testimony in an affidavit form to write their crimes, put it in the code. We've got these forms that we're working with people. But even if you're not working with Lawful America, you document the correct way, and then you send it to the Attorney General. You process, you make them, and you give them an opportunity for a remedy. And if they choose not to have a remedy, when someone commits a crime in the U.S. Inc., and the amazing thing is also is the military has to get involved, and a lot of people don't know that.
The military?
And so that's why because we have military tribunals that are already enforced because they are a government and they are breaking law, they're treason. So when we send our documentation right now, it not only goes to the Attorney General, it will go to the military, and then we'll have to demand a military tribunal because, and that is the way it works. Now, a lot of people don't know that because nobody uses 18 USC and they don't understand the procedures, but I understand the procedures. And so if you go to lawfulamerica.com, you would know 2 months ago that we put on there on Speak Project or projectspeak.net, and it's on Lawful America as well. You can go read the military execution guide, and there's a reason why that's been on my phone for a long time, because Dan, when you commit treason, it's very clear in the military execution book that when you commit treason, you're hung by a hemp rope. So if I were them,
you mean lynching? I thought they made lynching.
That's why they have rope illegal here in the United States. They don't have nylon rope, so we're gonna have to actually order that out.
But was that the corporation that made it unlawful, or like the people?
Well, whenever I say they,
it's a it was Kamala Harris in Booker that basically decided to make it illegal, wasn't it? Lynching. They said lynching.
Lynching. They tried to stop lynching.
After Smollett was accosted by MAGA Nigerians.
Oh yeah, Jussie Smollett went down today.
Oh,
right? Or yesterday. They actually put indictments against him. They're like, look, you fraud. This is a hate crime. When you pretend to have a hate crime committed against you, apparently that's against the law. Which makes me wonder, is all of Congress, or not all of Congress, but at least the entire Democratic side, that are clearly staging hate crimes against President Trump, that's all unlawful. I think that's all probably things that we can put indictments on against them too, right?
Well, this is the thing is, Congress is not, if you do not obey your oath, and no one makes them, this is where people have to understand is no one sits there and said, you have to take this job, you have to take this oath. They chose to do that oath. That's where we are messing up here is that we think that they know these, that they chose to go against their oath, and when you go against your oath, then you have to, you're accountable. Um,
So here,
it's anxious to
let
be.
me break these things down. So I want to hit you with quick questions. I want you to give me 10-second answers on these, okay? So first, Dan, the average Dan,
Yes.
talking. He wants to know, hey, Michelle, this all sounds great, but how do I get involved? Right? That's the big question. So first thing, go to lawfulamerica.com. Lawful, Lawful, America.com. You get there. Where we direct these people? They're going to go check out the local, see if they have a representative in their county, right? So now, is there things on there to teach them right now, or we're adding that? Because we've got a big next step we're about to drop tomorrow, and I am very excited. I don't think we're not putting it out public though, right?
Not yet. Our core team in the morning gets it first. The ones that have been fighting with us from the very beginning, and the ones that have been joining in. Now, we have joined us at lawfulamerica.com. We do have our 10:15 in the morning that we allow open to the community. And that is where we're making our announcement to our people that have, they work 19, 20 hours. And then after that, I believe we'll be going live.
Are we going live after that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I want to make sure I extend this invitation to Lori from the medical, what are they, the medical vax group?
The United States of Medical Freedom, I think, yes. I would
Powerful group, right? They've grown in big numbers, right? They talked to Del Big Tree.
20,000. Yeah. 20,000 in 4 months. 20,000
right.
in 4 months.
They had the big red letter movement, right? So they've done a lot of stuff. They do a lot of work. They do a lot of protests. They traveled up, right? The big win in Jersey, right? When they got into Kuwait. Then the next day, it was kind of a big loss, right? Because the governor there kind of declared war, right? So we've been working with them, right? We got a lot of their members like working with us, and the head of that organization, you know what? In my experience, she's been wonderful. And you know what? We're a big fan. However, apparently she has told her team that you're going to lose all your money if you work with Lawful America, which it doesn't seem like Lori. We have a good relationship with Lori, so I'm thinking maybe somebody told her that, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to patch that up and still work with her, because you know what? We're trying to bring people together. We're not trying to tear people apart. But I will say, please, Lori, make sure you come to me tomorrow morning, because you could see there's one path to victory, and it's with us. Because so far, if you keep on the path of we're just making a lot of noise, make a lot of protests, file a lot of lawsuits that are going to lead to what? And Del Big Tree, please, feel free, give me a ring. Bobby Kelly, you want to prove me wrong? Show it. Give me the evidence that you guys are actually arguing the right argument. Because so far, here's what we see. You didn't argue a single real constitutional issue. You didn't even try to challenge it. What you tried to do is you tried to fit inside their corporate bylaws, because you're part of them. You're part of them. Let's be honest, right? You're attorneys, right? You're loyal to the bar. You support Hillary Clinton. This is what you do, right? Hillary baby killer Clinton, right? So this is just a fact. So here's what we're doing though, right? What we're doing is we're challenging the actual constitutionality of them mandating to us anything when it comes to our kids. But definitely when it comes to our freedom to make choices about our own life, our children's life. This is even hard. Jurisprudence, 16 Jurisprudence 177 Section 2 says outright, if they're making a law that violates our constitutional rights, it is a no law. No law. No one can enforce it, and no one has to abide by it. And guess what? They couldn't even argue it. You know how we know? Because we just published it in the Gazette, gave them all notice, put it out to every Board of Education in the country, every state health department, and guess how many of them have anything to say about what we said? Is there any legal ramification? Absolutely not. Because we're the law. We're the law. We already declared it. Now, we already put that out there. That means every case that walks in there from now on can say this is the law because you lost by default. So
now, I would like to declare, just to make sure that people understand, that sometimes people attend events in New Jersey and stuff for picture ops. Now, so the people in New Jersey that won is that went in there and fought, and I'm very proud of those people. And some of them on our team and everything, but you know, we're not in this to take pictures of people like, you know, victory and so I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure that, and what I understand is that those groups were not the big win for New Jersey. There was more just a photo op with some people. You know, I think we can screenshot this. If you'd like a photo op of this, you could hold your computer, take a photo op.
No, look, we'll do pictures. We'll show up. Hey, look, Dan, the average Dan. From now on, I feel like great nickname ever.
I didn't want to say the average Joe, right? So.
We just cannot call him the average Dan.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fun.
This is what you have to understand is there are many ways to beat the system. And the New Jersey people, they showed up, they were on the ground, and they did it on that one. Now, what we have to understand, though, is we have to stay vigilant, and we understand that those seats are paid for. And again, stop asking for permission. And so we are very proud of the people that stand up and fight, and I want to make sure that that message is very clear. And we also want you to know that your legislators and stuff are paid seats, and that's their right. They came up there like 5 more the next day because the government was mad that they stood up. Now,
so
okay.
here, this is exactly what happens, right? So the slaves had the nerve to fight back. So what happens next day? The slaves get beat twice as bad, right? They come right back at them twice as hard. Right? So exactly what happened.
Because the slaves hadn't been trained by the master. But they're about to be trained
by the master. She's talking about Shaolin. So, right. So now here's the point. It doesn't do a damn bit of good to fight all you want trying to break chains when we got the keys, right?
Well, I think I do have the keys, actually. I think I have a really big part of keys, and Tank doesn't know that I know how to do this. So I am going to actually share my screen, which I never have done before. And so I think I do have part of the keys, actually. So I want to remember this number and tell my haters. So I think I have the keys. I've been having the keys, people. And so these are your articles of incorporation where the certificate of incorporation of the United States Corporation Company went into effect in the state of Florida in July of 1925. Would you like to look at that for a minute?
Wow. I've always wanted to see these. Certificate of Incorporation of the United States Corporation Company.
Well, that means that as a corporation, they're operating as a foreign entity here. So the people really are the government. This is actually evidence to show that we, the people, are the authority, right? Is that right?
I believe that everything I read and all their bylaws and everything, that some very, very kind people went down that rabbit hole, and they gave it to me, that those bylaws do not give them any authority to be doing this, and that they're actually just all a charter. And so, and I don't have to fight a charter in a judicial stance or in a court stance. And so we're going to be doing 2 different things here. We're going to be holding the judges and all these bad actors accountable on a private capacity and official capacity, but as well as your charter on my facility. And so there'll be another extra arm that's going to be tighting this. And you can look at here, right here, if I blow this up for you, you'll see that charters right here and other instruments relating to the incorporation organization of our coordinations and joint stock companies. And I have not had much sleep in the last few 48 hours. I have confirmed from many sources that everything I have is right. I like this part. And the business of the corporation is from time to time to do any more of the acts and things herein set forth, and it may conduct business in the state of Florida, other states, the District of Columbia, the territories and colonies of the United States, and in foreign countries, and have one or more offices out of the state of Florida, and hold purchase mortgages and convey real and personal property with or without the state of Florida. Then we go into the shares of this, which is the maximum number of shares that this corporation is authorized to have
100.
outstanding at any time, 100 each, of which shares have a par value of 100. And the board of directors shall the directors and stockholders shall have power to hold their meetings and to have one or more offices
Hey,
and to keep the book of
Michelle, I'm sorry,
Yes.
but can you go back a little bit? The internet froze while you were going over the shareholders area.
Okay, so we have a shareholders. Let's go back. They have 3 offices, and the amount of the capital which the corporation will begin business is $500. And so then we have the principal office of the corporation shall be located in the Tallahassee. And then we have right here, this is the people that did this, the name of the post office address of the subscribers of the certificate and the number of shares right here.
Okay.
So this is where we have books of the corporation outside the state of Florida.
When I
And
first
then maybe
noticed
there's
the
name on
promo,
the
I'm going to go to that exact same post office, by the way, and send it out directly to them.
And so, this is what's so amazing about this is those bylaws listed in here does not give them the power to govern you like they have. So all of you have committed treason, and you're extremely in serious trouble right now because Lawful America has the documentation that they need. The directors shall have the power without the assent or vote of stockholders to make and alter bylaws of the corporation. The bylaws, not the governed laws of the people. And then this is probably one of the best things right here. This is on the 7th day of July, 1925, and the state of New York, the county of New York, July the 7th, 1925, person appeared before me, and the notary public sign right here, and we also have it stamped in Florida. So we have a document that proves that this is a, there you go, guys. Let me show you this meeting
So,
right there.
all right. So basically, what we're looking at now is a completely different game. All you know-it-all attorneys out there that are encouraging people to beg the courts to appeal so that they have their naturally God-given birthrights, the fundamental rights that make this whole country great, the Constitution, and then they've got all of us pandering to them, who's nothing more than a corporation. Is that about right? Is that what I'm looking at?
I would say a corporation and a charter, and it's
Without a
really
charter.
amazing.
So,
Well, they have charters, and so what's really amazing is when you're fighting a charter, that's done in Broad Street. Like you can file 3 complaints against Dun and Bradstreet, and it has to be shut down. And so I think, but see, they committed all these crimes with the government, so that goes to the military tribunals, and we don't have to do indictments. All we have to do is document the evidence, like we do with the CROs and all that we're working on, DANK, that we're extremely excited to have this week in courtrooms, gathering evidence and everything, and in the proper channels that we're supposed to be, because we've had the advice of federal judges and federal marshals and just some really amazing people, knowledge people that, you know what, they just saw that Lawful America was not the scam that I think you people like to say we are. And I think that those people were willing to give me the documentation because they know Lawful America is very real. And you know what, Tank is so amazing. There's so much is going to be coming out in the next probably 10 to 15 hours. But I think that I've got some Congress paperwork that was from 2009 and 2012. And I think that you admitted in that paperwork that we're still New York. All those 13 colonies are still under Articles of Confederation.
yeah.
And so I would love to see how you're going to keep your damn UN in New York. when we were under the Articles of Confederation, so checkmate. I've said for 2 years, you were under the Articles of Confederation, and I have the documentation from the Congress that says that you are as well. I have called multiple people today after I got the documentation from the Library of Congress where you said they are under the Articles of Confederation. It was given to me yesterday, and I've called people today to confirm in the Library of Congress that it is still there. It is still there. So, and there are multiple ways that I plan to just kick your ass, and this is just the beginning.
Dan, you got something. I know you got a question.
Oh, well, this is more an average Dan question. Or more of a statement. So
Dan,
when I was...
Can we do a show? Can we start a show where you and I are going to have a show every day, and we're going to call it the Average Dan Show, where you get to ask questions, and we're going to say the Average Dan.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea. It's a good way to go, because there's so many average Dans out there. I just want to speak for all of them, and so my question is that, am I correct that whenever I had this mental exercise, whenever I saw people at the DMV or in Congress, and they're doing there, that they were just wearing like a fast food hat, with those little pointy hats, that they're just another incorporated business, and they're just like the guys dipping the fries into the fryer, then telling you, well, we want you to pay for, because you crossed the line, you went over our yellow line there. When you're ordering food, you're not supposed to step over the line, and you did that. So we want now to fine you for doing that, and so you should pay them, right, or not? They made a rule. I just walked into McDonald's. I didn't know that they made that rule to step over the line. So
it was by trickery. So first of all, they don't have the power. They tricked you. Everything they've done is been
they don't.
fraud.
So McDonald's can't charge me for stepping over the line. Okay, just checking.
Well, if we called it the government, I'm not calling it McDonald's. I mean, we could talk about them.
Well, fast food. Yeah, I always slipped into McDonald's as the average, fast food restaurant. But
I would basically say, like, every senator, and if you walked in their Capitol and they said, hey, I made this stupid law because I don't know how to read the Constitution, and I think I have the power, average Dan, to make you think that you're going to obey these rules. Now, if I was the average Dan, I would say, well, you're here breaking your oath, and you have committed treason against me. And so here's my form, and you know what? Hold on, I'm going to put.
Oh no! You learned how to share screens. We're in
trouble now. When she comes back, it's going to be close off. She's going to be like, I'm done. I'm out here. Well, so I'm very excited about this, right? So let's add these pieces up. We've got lawful notice has been given within the proper boundaries of the Gazette in Washington, D.C. by Lawful America. This has then already been submitted and accepted into the Library of Congress. We are, I can't talk about the next part. The next part is going to be the bomb. You wait till tomorrow. It's going to be the bomb. So
if I was the average Dan, there's forms that you can fill out if they don't want you to know about. But if you have really good friends with some really high up places, they bring them to you.
What is the form? What does it do?
Well, the government doesn't like you to be transparent, so I just can't be transparent with Standard Form 95, Revision 2, 2007, which is prescribed by the Department of Justice. But Dan, average Dan, I'm not going to tell you because I do not need to be transparent with the form approved OMB number 1105-0008, where you can claim for damage, injury, or death from the government. So if I were you, this form will be added to Lawful America because we are transparent with you because this is the only way you win. So this form will be added to Lawful America because we don't charge. Like, see, people say that we charge for you to get remedy. We do not. So we will be.
But Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't we just protest? Shouldn't we just make a lot of noise and do whatever Del Bigtree said that this is what we should? Bobby Kennedy gave a speech on the footsteps of the courthouse. You mean to tell me we could just fill out a form and we'll make it public for everybody. You mean to tell me that a public form that we can put out there for everybody, they can fill out this form and they are entitled to damages caused to them by the government? Are you serious? Is that true?
Pretty much, yeah. There's some paperwork that we just need to fill out. Like we have a sworn statement, which is 190-45 that we're going to be offering to you. See, Lawful America is not about us being a hero. It's about us empowering you and to give you the remedy of the documents. And so I know y'all are looking at the hotline. What does she have? I've always had it. Just have people build it for you a little bit higher. And we're also going to have an internal revenue manual of 21.7-1.3.2.2, where you said the infant is a descendant of a state or a grantor, owner, or a trustor, or a trust, guardianship, receivership, or custodianship that you yet to receive an SS number. We're going to let the people know that the Social Security Act has never been a positive law. They never acted it. And we have the documentation of that as well. And so if I were you and I sat in that Congress bill, I would be leaving my seat right now because according to these documents that I got that are also sent by the Library of Congress, says, again, that you're committing treason. But it says it's the 1974 Privacy Act of Title V of the United States Code, anointed 552, is based on the Privacy Act that A8 said. Title V is based on the Privacy Act. It tells you that Congress has never passed these laws from the Title 42 of the Social Security Act into a positive law. So what are y'all paying into? If it's not a law, what are you paying? Oh my God, I think the government's lying to you again and stealing your money. No shit, that would never happen, would it, Tank?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's normal actually.
But see, when that happens, again, that goes under 42 U.S.C. 1307, which is a penalty for fraud. And whoever with the intent to defraud any person shall make or cause you make any false representation concerning the requirements of this chapter, chapter 2, 21 or 23 of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986. So, government, are you ready to tell the people that the IRS really doesn't really exist? So it's a non-charter, so you don't get prosecuted by your manuals? Or are you going to continue to let the people know that you are?
Michelle, we've been paying in the IRS with our income tax for our whole life. This is what crazy people talk about, Michelle. This is what these sovereign terrorists do, right? The people who this is what they want to call terrorists. People who dare say that they're free, right? Those people are crazy, Michelle. Those people get arrested. How do we stop that, Michelle? How do we stop that from happening? Oh, that's my internet. Here's how we stop it from happening. We stop that from happening by people like really powerful leaders like Lori. Don't be duped by Deuce Bigelow or Del Bigtree, whatever his name is, right? Or Bobby Kennedy, because you know how many victories they have? Zero. They did one FOIA request to basically point out the obvious thing, that there's no wins. They've never done the research. What have they done with it? That was 2016. 4 years. What have they done with it? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Matter of fact, they're trying to harvest everyone's information, right? They want to know whose kids are not vaccinated. We want the names of your kids. We want all the details of your kids. We want to know where they live. So we can set up an academy. How are you going to have an academy in California, in New York, unless they take your kids? Okay? So here's the question. Are you going to continue to go down this path with them? Now, look, we're for them. If they're really in the fight, man, I'm sorry. I'll apologize. I'll be wrong. What a jerk I am. My God, you guys really had the master plan. Show me the evidence. You've been doing this for 15 years. When have you won? It sounds to me like you work for them because you keep everybody busy so nobody knows their real rights. That's what it sounds like to me, Michelle. Is that possible? I mean, is it possible this thing is that corrupt that the attorneys... Wait, Michelle, didn't you tell me that if you get an attorney, that what you're saying is that you are not of sound mind? Isn't that what that means? If I have to get an attorney, I mean...
It means you're an idiot to get an attorney.
Wait, what is it, Dan?
It means you're an idiot to get an attorney. Well, you consider yourself in regards...
Does it actually mean that?
You no, actually mean that you volunteer to say that I'm an idiot, I need help, I need someone to represent me. So you need
That you can't speak for yourself.
you
can't
cannot
fight
speak for yourself. I'm an idiot, so I need an attorney. That's what you're doing.
But we're going to explain all that as well with that documentation. Now, Tank,
And I'm talking about a legal definition of idiot. I'm not talking about, hey, your mental capabilities.
You're incompetent. You're incompetent.
You're incompetent.
When you cannot speak on your behalf. Now, Tank, I know that you have been extremely concerned about the UN in New York, correct?
Not really, but yes, I'm very concerned about taking the UN out because I like their building. They're in prime location right in Manhattan. I would like to own that building for Lawful America.
Would you? Well.
But Kim said it's the most bugged building ever. There's so much, you can't do anything there because even the walls are here.
We might could own it with the. I think it's another charter. I think it is, and I think that the president of Lawful America has that documentation as well too. So I think that's another charter of the United Nations and the statutes of the International Court of Justice. So if I were in New York, I'd be packing my bags.
Are you sure this isn't just a map letter? I'm sorry, go ahead. Well, that is very funny.
It's very exciting. Lawful America is going to have a lot of excitement things.
But Michelle, in New York, they have proposed a new bill to bring back a religious exemption so that I can go in and I can say, hey, let me explain and justify my religion so that I don't have to let you force me to either inject my child with poison or you take them from me and say I'm an unfit parent. And this confuses me because it seems to me like what you're saying is we actually have rights. We have rights that we're allowed to enforce. We have things we're allowed to do. We can actually have a voice in this place. Matter of fact, it sounds to me like what you're saying, Michelle. It sounds like we run this bitch. Is that right?
Sounds like it.
I think much. And every governing body has blended corporate agency that operates under the delegated powers of the people. Every person that takes a job within the government, there are slaves. We're the master. Becomes a bonded servant of the people who is personally and jointly held liable to prosecution if they violate the U.S. code that governs their conduct. You have to realize that that all these things fall into. You have to man becomes laws himself. These are bestowed upon your creator. And all these people that the state judges, the federal, all these people that have the responsibility to respect and protect the people from violations of the constitutional rights that's in various places in the state of Illinois. You have things that protect you. And the only reason that you have the trickery and the fluoride and the genocide that's happened with you is why you fell along with this. Now, to say something on that, like people say, no, this can't be real. I understand.
And what's happening? More people get shut down. More groups are shut down. More people are hiding. And everyone wants to stay off the radar. We're doing the opposite. Here's what we're going to do. We're going into the courtroom. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. We're going into the courtroom with rock solid documentation to establish our lawful authority. We're going after the judges, the attorneys, the court clerks. What are they doing? What's Del Bigtree doing? Bobby Kennedy, what are they doing? What are they doing? I'm not saying they're not nice guys. They're nice guys. They're wonderful, salty other people, I'm sure. What have they accomplished? I'll tell you.
Well, this is.
I hear Del does okay for himself.
Well, this is the thing. You know, we don't make deals. I don't negotiate with terrorists. And you know, when they got to 30 years, and this is the thing that maybe you didn't understand the piece. I don't know. I mean, I'm not an attorney. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you just didn't understand the piece. But the truth is, though, if you're really on the right side and you want to stop the genocide of the humanity, then you come to the table and you need to understand what Lawful America is doing. The way that you're fighting is you're keeping everybody dead. And we're not keeping you dead anymore. We're bringing you alive. That's what Lawful America, when I was talking to my state directors tonight, and I said, it's an amazing time, your job. I kind of gave them some what was going to be going on in the next few hours. And I said, it's amazing that you're on the side of the government. They lied to you, this U.S. corporation. They put you in probate court from the minute you've been violated from the time you're born. They make you a corporate name. They basically say your mother abandoned you. They use your footprints as a mark, and they register you actually to make you a state. They say that your mother abandoned you the entire time. And then they put you in probate. And so this government that you trust, you have this baby, and you think, oh, I love my baby. And these people are delivering, and they're like, look. And they're not telling you. We immediately, from the time we cut that umbilical cord, we took that baby from you, and we declared that baby dead. We say that you abandoned that baby, and then we get to take it in a corporate name. They mail it to you. We don't respond. Even the ad in the paper. See, we did the ad in the paper too. You did that as well as the birth announcement, so you can claim the estate, the probate. I'm on your gate. I've got your manual. I know what you're doing. And so.
So there's a precedent set for establishing.
The manual actually says to only get the mother to sign it to encourage her. Oklahoma, love your manual. And so how you encourage, they don't want the father to sign because they want to be the high executor. And so, yes, that's what they're actually doing. So they immediately say to your mother abandoned the baby. They run the notice in the paper, and then they do the registry. So that's where you become a trust, and then these assholes make you a probate. Therefore, they become the executor. The state becomes the executor of your estate. Now, you and I would have the right till 21 to claim the child. We do not because we don't know that they've done this. And then they just go through your money because they're waiting for you to show up and claim your estate, to say, I'm alive.
This is a corporate entity with a corporation, which is a hospital, that is declaring us, our children, from birth, even us, dead, and an asset, giving them over to another corporation to trade and make money off of which they never want to share with us. This is what the standard is, what you're saying. Now, anybody out there who doubts, because look, Michelle, this is what happens. In here in New York, everybody's been really indoctrinated because they've been in this fight a little bit longer, right? With vaccines and stuff like that. But you tell me this, New York. Did one of the senators from New York, or one of the state assemblymen, or one of the politicians, outright tell you that your children do not belong to you? That's what
they want you to believe. That's what they want you to believe.
Why did they say that, Michelle? Because they think they own everything. So what they've done is they put some bullshit process together, and they've tried to do this to us.
But they didn't really have the right to do that. See, this is where it's really going to get fun for me, is that that's what they told you, which is, I'm not dead. I'm so not dead. I'm so alive. I am live as can be. That's right. And but I believe that if you really look at the documentation and you know what you're doing, and then you realize that what they did goes all the way back to the Magna Carta, and everybody loves to talk about Henry VIII, but I would go, if I were you, to Henry VII or Henry IV, because if you know what Henry IV is, then you know the Magna Carta, and then I actually know now how to, again, that secret trust was put in place at Henry VII. But if you realize how to destroy that document, because again, so Henry VII is where the secret trust came in to them do this, okay, and with the birth certificates and everything. Now, but then they put Henry VIII. Now we see Henry VIII everywhere because the cabal wants you to stay focused on Henry VIII. But in my research, because I have to research, if you go back to Henry IV and you look at the documents, then you realize that, again, he didn't have the right to do it, and that we're under the Magna Carta, and the Magna Carta still applies. And the Magna Carta is so amazing. My favorite part of Magna Carta is that is where the king was held accountable to the same place as the people, like equals. Okay, so there was no nobility there. And so, which goes back to King James with Edward and all that. But Magna Carta is really important during the Tudor time, Henry IV, Henry VII, and Henry VIII. And then that's when you really realize where the 1666 Trust came into place. But when you understand, as I've always said about the backs, I said it as the domino, but I said once you can understand all the pieces and you can put the pieces together, and you may drive your business partner Tank absolutely crazy the last 24 hours because he knew I was on a hunt for something. And when you get all the puzzle pieces together, again, you get to sit back and enjoy the clock going down. And I think me and Chief, one of the chiefs, we just giggled all day knowing that we had the answers. You know, I said 3 days ago to some people privately, I got 3 days on the clock. I need this. This is what I need. I know it's there. And someone made a call for me, and it was delivered to me last night. When you are on the side of light, and you are doing this out of love and doing it for the right reasons, everything shows up at the right time that you need it. And I am a testimony of that over and over. There were some pieces that I have been working on. We've got many recorded calls, and Tank has known. I have said the Articles of Confederation and other things played a part in this. We put the Magna Carta in the. If you realize that the Magna Carta is mentioned in our ad in the paper.
Stop. No more information. No more information tomorrow. We're gonna go live about 6 times tomorrow. We're gonna put our information out. We have all types of things coming out tomorrow. I'm shutting Michelle down. She's done. I'm gonna have to bump her off. Dan, closing comments? Anything else?
Well, it's a comment about the Magna Carta. It was just a little. I was thinking that what it did was it made everybody royals as opposed to the other way around, making everyone commoners. Well, everyone's sovereign is the way I saw it, but making everyone equal. That's a good way of looking at it. I don't know about the average Henry, but it's a Henry the Fourth or Seventh or 12th. I don't know what Henry was doing there, but it'll be interesting to find out. So.
I don't know, but my new hashtag is Magna Carta, so that's going to be my hashtag for the 24 hours.
All right, that's it. Everybody's cut off because it's about to be bombs dropping everywhere tomorrow. I can't wait. We've got so many exciting things going on. We're about to launch the long arm of the real law enforcement of the American people. And we're going to put this together in a very dynamic way. We're going to make sure that the actual people, everybody out there needs to get involved with Lawful America right now. Come watch the Speak Project so you see what's going on YouTube. Get involved and see what we're doing, because we're actually changing the game to what it should be. We're making a way for everybody to have a chance to actually stand up and fight for themselves. So if you're sick and tired of being bullied by every government, everybody who walks by you, because everybody keeps telling you what you can't do, let me tell you, that's my biggest pet peeve. Come with us. Tell us what you want to do, and we'll show you how to, we'll work with you to get there. We need people to come together. We need to stop worrying about dumb things. They are trying to kill all of us, even the attorneys. So let go of your status. Nobody cares about who you think you are. You're no more important than any one of us, and we are standing up together. I've watched this happen a million times. I use this example all the time. If you have one person standing and everyone else has their face on the ground bowing down, everyone thinks that person is a god. But all it takes is for one person to stand up and look that person in the eye and tell everybody else, you stand up too. And there's no more cognitive dissonance. You stand up and you stand together, and you know who that guy is who's standing up in the middle? Nobody. No bigger than you, no stronger than you, no more important than you. Neither is the judge, neither is the police. Now, what they're going to try to do is they're trying to paint a picture like, oh, you guys are radicals. The hell we are. What we are is the law. You are the radicals. Your audacity to come in here, try to take over our country, try to introduce all types of terrible things, steal our children. You can go to hell, but you are not going to take our children. You're not going to take us over. You're not going to get us to stand down. We are going to get these people to stand together. So whatever side you're on, whether you're a cop, whether you're a government agent, whether you're look, the president's already doing it. If you're a congressman, a senator, if you're a janitor, or I don't care, it doesn't matter what you do. Stand up for what's right. For once,
Stand your ground.
stand up, be on the right side of this fight. And I'm telling you right now, you want to be on the side with us. And I'll tell you what, what's in it for us? What's in it for us? We're not getting rich off this. Anybody can find out. Look, we've been struggling through this thing just like everybody else. Had bank accounts emptied out, lost my car a few weeks ago, grinding through this. But here's why. I'm willing to grind through it. Because I know what's at the end of this. Because of my freedom, my child's life, them actually living up to their potential, there's nothing you can't buy that from me. You don't have enough money for it. If we were to file a grievance right now on damages done to our families because of your actions as a government and all these different groups, you don't have enough money. You can't put a value on that. You can't put a value on that. So I'm telling you, you want to be on our side. I'm talking to the average Dan out there. All the average Dans out there, come stand with us so you won't feel so damn average. You know why people feel average? Because they're standing alone. And people are not meant to be alone. That's why we have families. That's why we are the way we are. We rely on each other. Let me tell you something. The number one thing that people are missing, that we're struggling with, reason why we can't move forward. You know what people need to be doing, man? Trust. You know how hard it is for people to trust? This is what these bastards are trying to take from us. They try to take our ability to trust one another. So when somebody stands up and tries to do something good for you, right? So it's trying to help you. We're trying to give you all. So here's what we did. We've done this for nothing. We've done this thing, no money out there. We put everything completely transparent for you. We've shared our life stories. We've taken abuse from everybody. I've had threats on my life. But I could show you some of the pictures that have been sent to me when my life's been threatened. Believe me, you all would be quiet right now. You'd be shut up if you saw the pictures that have been sent to me and the threats and the things that have been told you. So here's the difference. We've done all this. And I'll tell you what, at the end, my goal is not finally I can cash in off people who have nothing. No, it's not. My goal is that I can be free, and I know this. And by the way, make no mistake, my intentions are entirely selfish. I want to be free. But here's the difference between why I see freedom and you might see freedom. What I see freedom is this. How can I be free if you're not? How can I be free if you're not? Because if I'm free and you're a slave, forever, I'll be riddled with guilt and fear and worry that you're going to get out and kill me. I'd never be free. But I'll be honest, my intentions are selfish. Because I know better. I'm not trying to pretend like that's not true. I want to take care of me, my family, my kids. But I realize none of these people are doing anything about it to make a difference. So what I'm willing to do to get myself free, get my kids free, get my family free, so I can be free, is I'll do all I can to fight for you to get free too. That's the difference. Now do the same. Because you can't get free if you don't fight for me and everybody else around you. That's the difference. You know what? That's it. Tank out. I ain't on this note. Champion, all I do, no matter what, money on my mind, I can never get it up. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up, and they say yeah, and they say yeah. Cause all I do is please, and you need to go and put the hands in the air, and say yeah. Working in my love now, head on the swivel, you know, serving me to love now. Clean as a whistle as I pull out in my road spray. Telephone message, they see it, they say, oh, fuck. Still tell it, back it up, my niggas call me loco. That's for all traffic, you know, make me pull that mofo.
Okay. Looks like we're done.